What's good with the people? Convicts Perspective, your boy Flacco. I'm gonna be waiting for a couple guests we got checking in, man. King J tapping in. As you guys already know, I have a special guest that's gonna be tapping in, man. A few others, man. Let me add this comment real quick. Post a comment. It's been a busy day, guys. Rascal, when you see that, tap in. What's good with Sacramento? I got a special guest. I got some special guests. I got the homie Hangout coming on, and I got Huero from Sanjo, from Vado Sureño Marlitos. I mean, who does his family thing. He's going to come on, man. We've had a discussion. Once he gets on here, we tap in. We're going to get straight to it, man. We got a very controversial topic to discuss, but a very important and sensitive topic that you guys need to hear, man. Tapping in, Farmedo. I see you. Sacramento in La Casa. If you guys, hey, for everybody out there, man, we need support with that channel, Broken Dreams, man. We've been out there working hard, different areas from South Arizona, North Arizona, California, Oregon, Washington. We're all over the place, man, pushing a hard line, trying to bring awareness to the streets, man, and trying to give people solutions to the problems that they face in life. Juan Perez, man, what's good with it? I'm tapping the comments right now. I'm waiting for some people to get on. This is my first time doing the StreamYard thing off my phone, so I had to figure it out, man. So I tapped in a little early. Zay38, what's good with it? Man, okay, so episode 6. Okay, I'll fix that later. Don't even trip, man. Austin, Texas in the house. Man, tap in where you guys from, man, while we wait for these guests. Nicholas, man, I know he's tapping in from New York City out there, man, or New York. Excuse me for that, man. Hold on, I got a guest coming in. Bam, there we go.
What's up, man? I'm gonna be inside.
I got a guest coming in.
I'm gonna be inside where there's better lighting in just a minute, but I'm smoking my after dinner cigarette. So
Bam, we got an echo.
Oh, let me shut this shit down.
Hold on. Inside where there's better lighting in just a minute, but
the homie Hangout's in the house, man. We're gonna wait for Weddle. He should be tapping in pretty soon, man.
All right.
Very, very sensitive topic he wants to discuss, man. And I was in full agreement, man. As soon as he gets on, guys, I'll give you guys a little spiel, man, of how this topic came up, man. Okay, I think he's in here right now.
I'm curious too, man, because I want to know if he knows this cat, this other Sureño from Sanjo, whose case I worked on back in 2018.
Okay, there's Weddle. Hey, Weddle.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Good. What's up, fellas?
Man, so we're gonna wait for a few people to get on, man. You mind if I talk about our discussion we had the other night?
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah.
So the other night, man, I was doing a live, the round table with Boxer and everybody, man. Weddle gave me a call. You guys probably see me get off the live real quick, and I took his call real quick because, you know, me and Weddle tap in from time to time. We check on each other, and I have a lot of admiration and respect for Weddle, man. I mean, being that we're former enemies, you know what I mean, out there in the streets and in prison, and just who the man he is today, the changes he's made. He has 3 houses. He just put one of his kids in the Marines. He works and takes care of his family, and he sets a positive example. So anytime he touches base with me, I tap in with him, man. And he reached out to me, and he told me something during that live. And if you guys remember, I told you I had someone I needed to talk to, that I felt it was important, that I needed to get off that live. That was Weddle right here. So I tapped in with Weddle. And Weddle confides in me a situation he was dealing with, which was the ultimate respect, man, being that we're from 2 different backgrounds, that he entrusted me with this information to sit there and tell me how he was feeling. You know what I mean? On September 10th, I'll let Weddle explain what happened, but one of his homeboys passed away due to gang violence. And he was feeling a certain way about it. And he asked me, he goes, man, I want to touch base with this on a, you know, run with this, Blocks. I want you to run with this on your channel, man, and push the positive message, man. There's 2 things to this. He goes, 1, how do we get past the hate that we used to have when we're trying to change our ways? And when something like this happens to one of our loved ones, you know, he's explaining this was like his brother. This was the carnalismo. see, there's certain, when you live in that lifestyle, let's keep it real. We gain relationships with people out there in the streets, especially from our neighborhoods. It has nothing to do with North Day or South. It has to do with your homeboy. This was his homeboy, his loved one. Made him feel a certain way about things. At the same time, we discussed about, look at how many families are destroyed because of gang violence, because of senseless killings. Whether you're Norteño, Sureño, border brother, bulldog, or whatnot, man, when a life gets taken, man, you got people forget. These people have moms, they have abuelas, they have kids, they have nephews, they have brothers, they have sisters. If we don't realize the damage that we're doing to people when people senselessly take a life, I mean, so I'm gonna let Weddle go from there. We got the homie Hangout, man. He's really good on this topic too, Weddle. He wanted to tap in with us, man, because I wanted to have more of a public platform, man. But I'm gonna let you take it from here, man.
Yeah, sounds good, man. So yeah, like I was saying the other day, I hit him up because I was feeling a certain way, and a lot of you have heard my story before. I'm a changed man, a family man, businessman. Take care of my wife, my kids, and just focus on family and my business, you know. I parted away from the gang violence. I woke up about 12 years ago, and I finally became a man and started taking responsibility and not just focusing on what I wanted. And I wanted to be a badass macho, prove to people that I was down. And I was just thinking of me, but never thinking about the consequences that my family had to pay because of my choices, because of who I wanted to be. And I was trying to prove to other people that at the end of the day, they didn't even care if I was locked up or died or whatever. So I walked out of the gang life about 12 years ago.
Hey, Weddle, speak up a little bit louder. They said they have a hard time hearing you.
Yeah.
Or get closer.
Let me see if I put the volume up on this. What about now?
Is it a little bit better?
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get closer and talk louder.
Okay.
So once again, I let go of all this nonsense about 12 years ago, and I was just focused on family, my wife, my kids, my business, buying homes, flipping homes, getting homes for I got houses for my brothers. I just bought 2 more houses for my brothers, and you know, I'm trying to do something right, you know, and I hadn't felt this way in a long time, and I didn't think I was gonna feel like this anymore until my homeboy got killed a couple of days ago. He got killed on September 10th around midnight, and I heard it the next day in the morning. My phone was blowing up. I had messages on Facebook, my personal number, and that my homeboy had got killed. So I told my wife, "Hey, grab the kids, let's go." I immediately thought about his mom and his dad because I know them and they're family to me too. I know all his brothers, all his family. So I immediately went over there, and I wanted to show him some support. And also now in these days, to die is expensive, right? So we went to the bank, got a little bit of money, put it on the envelope, and so we could give it to the parents. I told them, "Hey, it's gonna be hard, but we're here. We're gonna be here." And but as I was driving over there to my homeboy's parents' house, I started feeling this hate and this anger that I hadn't felt in a long time. Because I started thinking about my homeboy since we were little kids. The day we met, how we met, the shit we've been through, how we went to juvenile hall together, how we were in county together, in prison together, all the shit that we used to do when we used to get jumped and he didn't run, I didn't run, you know? There was like that word you said, carnalismo. It was nothing but carnalismo, you know? And there was times where it was like 4 or 5 of us and we would get rushed and like our homeboys would run it and me and him would stay side by side with busted lips, open heads, you know, and we just didn't care. As long as he wouldn't run, I wouldn't run. As long as I wouldn't run, he wouldn't run, you know? And after I made the change in my life, he always spoke positive about it. Like, "Hey, well, I'm glad you're doing the right thing." And he would never call me to, "Hey, you want to go smoke some dope or you want to go do this?" He would never call me for any of that. He would always call me like, "Hey, what when you do a carne asada in your house, hit me up." And I'm all right. And I would hit him up. He would come over, you know, just regular stuff, you know. But he would never involve me in shit because he knew I was focused on my wife, family, and kids. You know, that was a real homeboy. You know, yeah. He didn't want nothing bad for me. You know, and when he got killed, I was telling my wife, "God damn, I can't believe I'm starting to feel this hate and this anger. I'm actually in my head plotting shit, you know? I'm thinking about, okay, I'm going to call this homeboy, I'm going to call this homeboy, and this is going to go down, and it's going to be payback. And I was like, what the fuck? Why am I even thinking like this? And I knew inside of me, deep down, that I wasn't going to do nothing, right? Because I already have too much to lose. I already grew out of that mentality. But just the simple fact that I had that feeling in me, I told my wife, man, now I understand why all these youngsters still can't get out of the gang, because it pulls you back in, and it's really hard. It is really hard, and one way or another, we were able to walk away from it, you know. But even years later, it still tries to pull you back in. But and this is the thing that I was telling Flaco, we gotta speak about this thing for those of us that already made it out. Let's not get pulled back in. Let's focus still on our family, because when I went to the funeral and to the burial, we buried him yesterday. His jefita, his brothers, his nephews, his daughter, everybody was crying. Yeah. Everybody's hearts were broken. And I said, shit, man, even if I do go get the people that got him, same thing is going to happen. Their family's going to cry. Their kids, their wife. And it's just going to go back and forth, back and forth. And I had to really talk a lot to myself and said, hey, man, you already grew out of this shit, Huero. It ain't even worth it. Look at your wife. Look at your kids, you know. And Flaco popped right into my head. One reason was because we were former enemies before. And therefore, I don't know, it was just easier to tell him, hey, this and this happened. And it was easier for me to hear from somebody like him that's already speaking a positive message, you know. And I didn't even discuss this kind of type with my homeboys because I don't know what they're gonna say. Like, hey, Huero, let's handle this shit. Let's do something. I don't know, you know. And I was telling Flaco, man, it's a hard situation, and I think it was a topic that we can discuss for us that been out of this lifestyle for a while. But it's this easy, man, to get back in there. All it takes is one thing that to happen to one of your close ones, and that hate and that anger can immediately ignite again. And it took a lot, man. It took a lot. Like 100%.
That's look at that comment that someone put. That's exactly what I told you. Remember?
I can't hear it. Okay.
Look at that comment I posted right there. That's exactly what I told you. Remember?
Yeah.
That this is normal. It's natural to feel like this. I was telling the brother, like, you know, here was another old timer. Let me see. I feel you, Huero. I go through that mindset every time I hear a young brother gets killed over this division with Arasa. That's another OG. That's an OG right there, man. Old timer right there, man. Juan Perez, man. Rascal, what input do you have on this topic, man? I know you got a lot to say.
Yeah, well, first of all, my condolences to your homeboy and his family. What was his name? If you don't mind sharing.
Arturo Isar.
Okay. So condolences to him, to you and your family, to his family, and to everybody else that's been impacted by his loss. I echo the idea that these feelings are normal. And I think you touched on a few, you know, kind of interesting things, right? But one of them was when we talk about gang violence and this and that, at least in my experience, very few people that have been in that lifestyle for any real period of time, right, stay in that lifestyle over a color or a number or whatever, right? We stay in it because of those relationships and those bonds that we build. And shooters are created when shootings happen. You know what I mean? I've watched young folks who were not shooters, who were not hitters. They're fucking kids, bro. They want to go to McDonald's and get 2 cheeseburgers and a cookie. You know what I'm saying? And they're scared. And when the streets are hot, they want to ride from their old lady's house back to home, right? Because they don't want to be caught up. And then their homeboy gets it. And now, yeah, they're in the neighborhood, so they got access to everything that everybody in the neighborhood has, right? So now it's personal. Maybe there's a little bit of, oh, man, we don't like the people from over there, right? But when they go pick up that pistol or when they go get their homeboys or when they go ride solo, or however they do it, they're not doing it for the neighborhood. They're not doing it for any of these superficial things, right?
Right.
They may say that and it may look like that, and not to say that folks don't have love for their community and their barrio and all that other stuff, right? But they're doing it because they're hurt. Those people took one of mine, and I'm gonna make you feel my pain because that's what my homeboy deserves. That's what you deserve, right? And it becomes personal. And then obviously people on the other side, somebody gets hit, and like, hey, now we got problems with those fools, and it becomes back and forth. So this idea of like we're not robots, bro, and you're giving a great example of that now with your transparency, right? We're not machines. We may think we are sometimes. We may operate like that for seasons of our life as a matter of survival or a matter of habit or just it's all we know. But in reality, that's not who we are. That's not who any of us are. We're complicated. We have feelings too. We can have close, tight relationships with people, relationships sometimes that are stronger than relationships with our own kin, right? And those relationships are real. The bond that you build by going into battle with somebody is a real fucking bond. When we talk about the military, it's honored, right? Oh, we were in the foxhole together, right? We were at battle together. That's my brother. And society is like, oh, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, right? But we go through something similar. You know what I mean? But then it's like we're expected to dismiss those relationships because some of our behavior was unhealthy, right?
Yeah.
But it's not, for one, that's not how people work. Of course, sometimes we're going to distance ourselves from certain people because of behaviors, right? But for myself personally and for everybody that I know, there's always those people like how you're describing Arturo, right? Where, look, bro, I have love for you. I respect you. You're taking the path that you're taking, and I applaud you for that. And I honor that, right? And maybe I'm not exactly following your footsteps, but that doesn't mean that I'm giving up this relationship with you. You are an important enough person to me that it ain't about this. It's about us, right?
Yeah, that's a good point right there. That's
So those,
exactly the conversation I had with Weddle was. I mean, this was like his brother. This was his homeboy. This was
yeah,
his type person. Even though their lives went separate paths, it's not about the gang. It's about the relationship with his homie.
right.
This is his homie from the hood. But I mean, you know how can we suppress the gang violence that's going on in this community? It's senseless. Like me and Weddle were talking about that, man. People were like have been dying for years for nothing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Moms are affected. Kids are affected. Brothers, sisters, nephews. I mean, in our communities, we're killing our own people, man, just to do a life sentence, man.
So it I think there's a couple angles, and it's not like I have a magic fucking solution. Like I don't have a magic
No, if
wand.
we did
Otherwise,
it, if we had a
right,
solution, it would be there. But we're trying to
right.
bring awareness and change to a. No one wants to talk about. What kind of recognition do you really get for killing someone? I mean, what recognition do you get but a 25 to life sentence?
No,
How
but see, you
important?
get, but the reality is, you do get more than that, right? You do get more than that. You go put in some work. Some people are gonna look up to you, right? You can go from being an anonymous dude in the neighborhood that's just kind of there, and nobody's really paying attention. And then watch what happens when you go put a hole in somebody, right? Oh man, that fool's done. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's healthy, but I think we need to be careful. We come from an older perspective because we're older and we have the benefit of hindsight, right? So we know where this behavior leads. We know these consequences. We know there's no future in this stuff. We know what happens when you go to prison. We know all those things because we've lived it. But keep in mind, in the mind of a 16-year-old or a 25-year-old, right, that perhaps hasn't taken those steps, they do get something out of putting in work, right?
Yeah,
They do get a
yeah,
sense of identity. They do get a sense of affirmation. There are people who are going to show them more love because of what they did, right? Now, is that authentic love? Is that the agape love the Bible talks about? Is that necessarily canalismo love? No, we know, of course not, right? But it is something. And so there there is value, and I use that word loosely, right? But people don't do something if they get no benefit. Now they may be mistaken in understanding what's a benefit and what's not, but there is value. The issue is, I think, to answer your question or to provide some, perspective from my experience in terms of what to do, right? Like that's the $1 million question, right? So it varies, right? With young people, very young people, it's a matter of distraction. It's a matter of occupying their time. It's a matter of resources. It's a matter of the community not turning them into gang members before they're even gang members. The first time I was ever called a norteño was by a cop in Redwood City. I didn't even know I was a norteño. I knew I hung out with my homeboys, and I knew there were some people we got along with, and there's some people that we didn't, right? But I was a baby, right? I'm 8, 9 years old, right? I don't even know I'm in a gang. All I know is these people show me love, and I'm accepted, and I'm welcome, and it's cool. And I dress like them. And if they have an issue with somebody, that becomes my issue because they're my friend. Not because we're in a gang together, but because if I'm walking down the street with you and somebody takes off on you, I'm going to take off in support of you. I'm not going to stop and ask why, especially as a little kid. So, not that the cops made me a gang member, I don't want to go that far, but like when I was living and working in East Palo Alto, it was interesting because, I was already out of prison and I was working with young folks, and I saw it through a different lens. We had very similar experiences, but now it's almost like I was able to look at my childhood by watching their childhood, but with the perspective of an adult. And I'm like, bro, we're turning these folks into homeboys, whatever that means for your neighborhood or whatever, right? Before they're even homeboys, by demonizing them, by demonizing the way they dress. And, oh, you're walking with this person, you're a gang member. Oh, you got kids leaving middle school and elementary school, and the Hooters are stopping them and taking pictures of them in their clothes. It's illegal, but it conditions us to believe that it's normal. And we see police around the neighborhood, and we see them chasing our people, right? But they don't ever come when the homie gets killed, but they'll come when the homie violates parole, right? So we learn this behavior in part because the community doesn't embrace us. So people need resources, as cheesy as it sounds, after school programs and shit that young people are really into. Not everything could be centered around the church. I'm a Jesus dude myself, but that's the thing that came later in life, bro. You can't attach religion to everything. A lot of people have trauma with the church.
But you know what though, but where do we get past this? Like, what examples do we need to set in the community? Like, what's your opinion on this? What do you think we need to do to change this type of behavior out in the streets? So, because Rascal's 100% on point on everything.
Oh yeah.
But where's the solution now? Let's talk solutions here, guys. Let's look at different perspectives and views, man. I want to hear what Huero has to say about that.
All right. Before the solution, let me speak on this a little bit because I think it's important. About what do you gain by killing another gang member or your enemy. Now there's nothing to watch. Let me share this. I have a homeboy. He's doing life. 2006, 2008, he committed some murders. He was on a spree, and he started becoming popular. And everybody was like, oh shit.
Just like Rascal said.
Everybody knew who he was, and he would walk with his chest up, and everybody like, okay, here comes this fool, all right? And the enemies would walk into the apartments where we would kick it at, and he would just walk straight in the basketball court with his gun in the middle, just start shooting, and he would stand right there like nothing. And long story short, he got caught for 3 murders because they already had him, so they gave him life. About 2 years ago, they pieced him up, they rolled him up. And the reason was,
what up?
Because
Hi, what's up, man?
The homeboy's doing a spill right now. We're listening to him, guys.
It's all good.
Good, Huero.
Yeah, so we have this guy who's a cuetero who earned his stripes and did his thing, killed some people. He's doing 25 alive. And all of a sudden, since there's this end of hostilities, you got the norteños and sureños, and they try to make him do a jale with the norteños. Said, hey, you and a norteño, you guys gotta go to handle this, both of you. And my homeboy said like, nah. He said, I'm not gonna do nothing with this guy. He says, we're enemies. I killed his homeboys. I don't trust him. I'm not gonna do nothing with him. And he started speaking up on it, and he started saying, I'm not gonna do nothing. I don't share nothing with them. I don't have peace with them. I hate them. I killed them before they killed my homeboys. And he was just speaking a lot about it. So I guess he was cussing ruckus where there was already peace. So they removed them. They got him bad. The homies got him good, and they removed him. And everything he did was for nothing, you know?
Yeah, it goes out the window.
Same thing with these individuals that killed my homeboy. They're out here killing their enemy, but they're gonna go in there and they're gonna have to have peace. So they're basically they're not getting nothing. They're not winning nothing out of this. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna get caught because it was more than one that was there. They were there. One of them is gonna open their mouth and tell somebody, "Hey, we did this, but don't tell nobody." And then that one person said, "Hey, guess what? I know, but don't tell nobody." And because you do something big like that, one way or another, you want to get the recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want people to know,
Right.
and they're gonna open their mouth and they're gonna say something. They might not get caught in a week or two, in a year or two, but sooner or later it's gonna catch up to them.
It's gonna happen.
They're gonna go to prison and have to have peace with their enemy. You know.
Well, and I got a home just to piggyback on that real quick, and then I know we got some other people that jumped in. I got two homeboys in the streets, same thing, committed murders, right? For various reasons. They both got killed in Salinas Valley during the end of hostilities as a cleaning house, quote unquote, right? These were solid, righteous people. You know what I mean? They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do, but they irritated somebody that had the status to be able to take their life, and so that's what they did. And then you have people that people post on Facebook, "Hey, bro, RIP to the homie," and there's fools from prison calling, talking about, "Hey, fool, you can't say that because he's no good. He got removed." Nah, fuck you, that's my homeboy, right? Like it's
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. We know where it ends up. You know what I mean? But it's hard to convince, in particular, like a young person, a teenager, or somebody who has the maturity of a teenager, no matter what their chronological age is. Because I know some 40-year-olds that act like they're fucking 13, right? But to recognize that, but also just real quick, and then I'll be quiet for a minute. But in my experience in running, violence prevention programs, community-based ones, a lot of these fools are tired, bro. A lot of people running around the streets, they can talk all that, "Oh, I'm active and I'm this and I'm that," but you get them one-on-one, they're tired, right? They see what's happening around them. They see what's happening to their homeboys. They see that there's no love lost when you're gone and you're in the joint. They hook up with a hyena and they're trying to do something different. They have a couple kids and they don't want their kids to grow up like them. So, but the problem is, and where the community needs to come in, is giving them an outlet, right? Giving them a way to maintain their dignity. One of the things I loved about the end of hostilities and the hunger strikes in prison is it wasn't a PC move, right? And what I mean by that is prior you had to drop out, you had to debrief to get out the parole or die. And these fools said, no, there's a way that we could work things out without having to go to law enforcement to have your back, right? You can be a stand-up person and walk away from some of the negative or unhealthy behaviors of the life of the neighborhood, right?
Right.
I could be a stand-up righteous dude without fucking running around with a pistol whacking people. In fact, in some ways, I'm more stand-up and righteous because I don't, right? If we're just going to be 100, right? And I'm not judging those who do. Get down how you get down. But even in older teens, and I know a lot of shooters, and I've worked with a lot of shooters, and some of them after they've been caught, and some of them when they haven't been caught, and some are fucking serial killers with multiple bodies on them. I'm a shooter. I went to prison for shooting, right? Like it's the norm, right? But people, not everybody, of course, but a lot of us, if you get, man, we're tired. right? But how do we express that? Because like you said, Güero, when you were stressing right now about Arturo getting killed, right? And it's easier to go talk to Flaco because, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm assuming because I've gone through something similar. Because if you go to your camaradas or the folks from your neighborhood, they're not, they're less likely to support what you're trying to do. They're gonna be like, yeah, fool, I feel the same. I'm hurt too. I'm in pain too. That shit was fucked up. We need to go right on these people. And they're gonna build you up and oh man, the big homie's back or whatever, right? They're not gonna pause to try to talk sense, right? And try to help you grieve and process this trauma without creating more trauma for yourself or others because they don't know how to do that. And it's a sign of weakness and it's a sign of this. That's how we're conditioned, right? So we need to come forth and make it okay. Look, fool, I know you're tired because I was you and I was fucking tired, right? I know it.
Pastor Rocha, hit that link, bro. I just posted the link for you.
And so, like I said, I think the intervention process changes depending on the age and the actual level of involvement of the people you're dealing with. But I don't know any shooters personally that are running around happy, fucking dancing like they're living in rainbows. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just traumatizing. It's hard. I live with it now. My little brother was killed a year before I went to prison, right? That was 95, bro. I went to prison in 96. I think about that dude every fucking day. That was my best friend in the world, right? And a year later, I'm in prison for shooting somebody, right? That trauma sits. And we need to be the ones to make it okay for people and create actual pathways out instead of just, hey, homie, I'm gonna pray for you. Or, hey, homie, you know what you're doing ain't right. But then that's it. Okay, but if what I'm doing ain't right, what you got to offer, homie? You know what I mean?
But that's the fault. There's nothing like that.
That's right. It's on a 1-by-1. It's and that's not enough.
Right. And you know, sorry to interrupt or anything, but I'm from Vallejo, right? But I live in Seattle now, right? My name is J Rock. I'm from Vallejo, from Hillside, and so but like.
The homie.
Oh, you froze at the wrong moment.
I think he has some good.
Hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
I'll hear you.
Okay. Yeah, but he was killed in 2011 on a bogus call, right? Mm-hmm. And so he had a way out, right? He had a way out for the whole thing to him, his little brothers, my little cousins, and everything on the way out. But he didn't have anybody. I was locked up when that happened, right? My other older cousin was locked up. He didn't have any type of anybody that could help him get out of this situation, right? And so, you know, unfortunately, you know, there was a bad call that made on him, you know what I mean? And a lot of people in Vallejo know about it. You know, I'm not going to speak on it right here because I'm not going to put anybody's name out there. That's not me. But, you know, there's a lot of youngsters out there right now that think that, you know, there's no way out, but there really is. You know what I mean? I mean, look what's happening right now in the situation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an 80s baby. You know what I mean? So like I know, like y'all, Flaco, you guys are big homies to me. You know what I mean? Like I look up to you guys, like, you know, y'all are the one that schooled me on stuff. And there's a lot of people out here a lot of youngsters that don't know there's a way out. And there's, you know, it's hard to speak on it and put it into words. But like I had to get in here and at least speak out for my little primo. You know what I mean? Because like. You know, his little brother, you know, I mean, there's a lot of fucked up shit that's going on out here, and people just don't realize that. Excuse me, sorry guys, I got bronchitis. But there's a lot of shit out here that, you know, people don't realize what's going on. You know, there's people behind smoke screens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, Flaco, so I want to go to that question that you asked earlier.
Okay.
What can we do about this, and to better the future of our kids, of our nephews, of our homeboys that want to get out of this lifestyle, you know? And me, what I'm personally doing, because I know I can't save the whole world and I can't do a lot for many people at the same time. But what I'm doing is the circle. I'm starting with the circle that's in with closest to me, which is my kids, my brothers, you know, and also homeboys that I know from back in the days that I see that they want to change their lives. You know, they reach out to me and say, hey, well, I need a job, you know, and I connect them with jobs, help them out, talk to them, hey, how you doing? Come to a house, come and eat, you know, and speak positive words to their life. Hey, you know, ya cuida tu familia, take care of your wife and your kids. Túmbate ese rollo, be careful out there, you're gonna get caught up, you know. And on my brothers, I stay on them. On my two brothers, I got two younger brothers than me, you know, and I'm always on them. Hey, make sure you're on time to work. I'm always pushing them, make sure they're disciplined. Hey, take out your wife, take out your kids, take them to the park, take them for a vacation, take them camping, you know. And I take my kids camping, to trips, to the park. Spend a lot of time with them and tell them I speak to them a lot about consequences in life. That everything you do brings a consequence. So I'm working with this group, which is my kids and my brothers, and with close relationships, you know. But what we need to do is all of us, older men that we already grew out of the lifestyle. Now we got to be active, but on the active side, where we're pushing a positive message to our people, you know. And,
I agree.
And that's something that you guys said earlier, to let them know that it's okay to hurt, that it's okay to talk about it. And that's what I did, Flaco. When I called you, I was hurting, man. I was hurting.
Man, I know.
Frankie
Trevino, hit that link and jump in with us, brother.
Hey, bro. Hey, another thing, can I say real quick?
Yes,
Just
sir.
real quick. My email is jrock1985-707 @gmail.com. So I'm on a platform right now to help felons get their CDL, right? That's what is right now. I have a CDL that makes me, $47 an hour, that I'm home with my family every day. I'm able to
for those who
provide.
don't know, excuse me real quick. For those who don't know, can you say what a CDL is? Because there might be some people that don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so there's a CDL, there's an A and a B, right? So there's a C, but it really doesn't matter. So a CDL-A is what somebody that drives a semi truck so basically if you have a CDL-A, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get it when you go to school, okay? Felons, it doesn't matter if you're federal, it doesn't matter anything, brother. I'm telling you right now, this is the way for felons to get out. This is what made me to provide for my family. And I've been doing it for the past 8 years. And right now, like, I'm on my way to owning my own home. Like, I mean, I have 2 vehicles for my wife, like, and me and my son, and like, we're doing good. But I'm telling you, there's a program for every single state in this country, that if you go to in Washington, there's a work source. There's a program where they offer grants to felons. If anybody wants to know, it's like I said, my email is jrock1985-707 @gmail.com, and I will look into the state program for you. And you go in there. You might have to wait for the following year for more funding, but you can look into that. And I'm telling you, I don't care what state you're in, you won't make less than $60,000-$70,000 a year. And this is what I had my older cousin in Vallejo, when he got out the joint. He got released from Susanville, and he had brought me into it, and I got released from out here in Washington State, right, from Clallam Bay, from what we call Gladiator Camp here, but it's nothing compared to Cali, right? But I mean, there's a lot of different programs. There's a lot of felons that don't know.
Say your email again. I'm gonna write it down for people. I'm gonna post it. Jay, what?
It's JAYROCK.
Yeah.
1985-707 @gmail.com. I know it's hella long, but
I got it.
I was hella young, bro. Come on now.
Man, out there, man.
Y'all email me, and I can help anybody. You know what I mean? I've already helped several of my homeboys that have got out, that I've been locked up with, and you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many programs that people don't know about.
Right.
And the programs open up opportunities for the youth. That's what for the youth, for the prison. We need to give everybody opportunities out there in these communities. And it starts with those, our family members, the ones that are closest, the ones that we see that are impacted, that want that opportunity. We got to give people in the community a voice to where there's no longer an excuse. You no longer have to pick up that gun to go put in work. You
No,
no longer have to go
no.
pick up
Hell
that
no.
set.
I'm done with that bullshit.
There's options out there, brother. And I want to get Team Rasa in on his input on this topic, man. As you probably heard from the beginning, Widow went through a situation where one of his close homeboys passed away due to gang violence out there, man, and he felt a certain way about it, man. And we're trying to promote that we don't have to continue to pick up the gun. We don't have to continue to commit violence. We don't have to continue to kill people out there. These actions affect our families a lot worse, and they affect people on both sides of these things, man.
Right.
You got any input? You got any input on this or no?
Well, what's
On
up?
me?
Let's give Team Nasa a little chance to get
Oh
in
yeah,
here.
what's up? What's up with you guys, man? And nah, I was just tapping in. Hey, like I said, man, I can resonate with just with everything, brother. Just try to, I came out of San Jose. I was, I lived that type of life associated, but you know what? By the grace of God, that there was a way out, man. There was a way out, and I walked away from that too. I don't live in San Jose. I mean, it's just. I can resonate with I've been listening to Flaco Spill. I even heard Huero. I watched him on American Solo, and I mean my respects, brother. You know what I'm saying? You came out of San Jose, what I'm saying, living in that era and all that, with the gangs and all that, and I was a part of that too. But I seen the way out. I walked away, and I'm I got my daughter, I got my family. I provide, you know what I'm saying? All that, brother.
Have you been personally impacted with anybody in the recent times who suffered or died from gang violence recently?
No, I can't say that I am.
Yeah, it happens all the time. I'm trying to get some other people to tap in.
But see, and that's the thing though, is there's too many of us. There's too many of us that have lost too many to gang violence. Like whether it's family, friends, or anything. Like it doesn't even matter. Like really, I mean, like if it's family or friends, I'm like everybody's lost too many. Like Flaco, how many close people can you tell that's blood related to you that
Hey,
you've
but my bad, I
lost?
cut you off, man. I'm at work, man. I just wanted to tap in, bro. I gotta go back. I'm on my lunch right now.
Okay.
All right, brother.
Hey, man, my respects, man. All right, what else?
Okay.
You guys have, brother?
All right.
Yo.
So J Rock, to your question, I've seen too many people get killed, and it wasn't always gang violence. It was just violence in general, man. A lot of gang violence too. You know what I mean? But there's just violence in general out there in these streets nowadays, man. And it's fueled by drugs. It's fueled by ego. There's so many different factors that go unattended out there, man. Like I've been seeing all this effects of the fentanyl out there in these streets, as you guys know, doing these interviews, man.
So bad, bro. Up here, so I'm from Vallejo, right? So I'm a white boy that's from Vallejo that grew up out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a Norteño family. You know what I mean? Like that's where I grew up, and I came up here into where it's a predominantly white Native American area. Like that's where it's at up here. But up here, the drugs that come, and everybody that I know goes down California, Arizona, they get it, they bring it up here and they jack the price up, right? But there's so many people up here that are losing so many people losing their family members to this fentanyl, to all the drugs, everything that's going down up here. Like it's not like people think like, oh, well, it's just down here in Texas, just down here in Arizona. No, those are the main hubs where it gets sent out to Atlanta, New York. I used to live in Detroit, right? So, I mean, it would hit Chicago first, and then it would go spread up into Chicago, New York, Michigan, Detroit, all those areas up into Green Bay. Like, I mean, there's people don't understand, the way things spread. And it's like where I'm staying at now, it's so bad up here, bro. Like, I mean, it hits the suburb areas, where like, I live in a predominantly white area now compared to where I was living in Vallejo, right? Like my wife and them, they're square as hell, right? They don't know anything about what I used to grow up in. And I'm thankful for that.
Right.
I don't want them to grow up where I used to grow up, right? And so I don't want my kids to go in any type of school that I used to grow up in. But at the same time, everything that's going on down there, nothing's changing, bro. It's not happening, like it's just getting worse.
Well, and the cycles of trauma, some of them are staying the same, and then, you know, sometimes they take different looks. But I was talking to somebody yesterday, a really close friend of mine, and without putting too much effort, bro, I can name 30 people that died prematurely, either from being killed, getting in high speeds, getting killed by the cops, overdosing, committing suicide, right? Like, it's, and the public portrayal of the neighborhood is we're all just animals running around and we like this shit and everything else, bro. Happy people don't shoot people. Happy people don't shoot dope. Happy people don't shoot themselves in the head, right? Like, it's
Not necessarily.
but that doesn't make us bad people either, right?
Right.
We're hurting and we're traumatized. And I think one of the challenges, something I've ran across in dealing with other people that have a similar lived experience as us, is there's a lot of older folks who are like, hey, it's not my place. It's not my place to get at these youngsters, bro, because I'd be being a hypocrite. It's not my place to get at them because when I was young, I didn't listen, so I don't expect them to listen to me.
I had to
It's
learn
not my
for
place
myself
to
too.
get to it because I'm just minding my own business, working, taking care of my family. That's my only job. But if part of your job and your lifestyle was to cause harm and trauma, then I believe part of your responsibility now as somebody who's healthier is to try to not, you can't fix what's been done, but try to bring healing to people before they end up in the situations that some of us have been, or even worse yet, situations where they're not living no more.
Okay, Roscoe, I want to introduce these other people in here. We got Sea Dog from San Diego.
Right.
Sea Dog, what up, Sea Dog?
What's the brother's name?
Mucho gusto, homie.
Okay, what's the new person? What's your name? Man, let me see, man. I'm trying to.
Joe Rhymes.
Joe Rhymes, man. Where you from, Joe?
Hey, what's cracking, man? I'm from San Gabriel Valley.
Okay.
Southern
Okay,
California.
so we got, this is an interesting panel. See, this is what I'm talking about. We got people from San Gabriel, we got people from Huero from San Jose, and we got someone from San Diego. What's your input on the topic we've been discussing, guys?
You know what? If I may chime in.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, what Homeboy was talking about is very true because I got my CDL license from the Worksource Center, of California about 10 years ago. And you know what? It's
good job,
man,
bro. Good job.
It changed my life, bro. You know what I mean? Like, basically, you know what? It's a guy. The sources are there. We just got to look, man. Heaven ain't hard to find. All we got to do is look, like Pac said. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right, but
hey,
there has to be people that go.
I'm willing to help anybody that needs it. If anybody that's listening right now, I mean, how many we got? I don't know how many people we got listening right now, but if
we got 321 people, man. And let's remember, guys, we're trying to promote a message to stop these gang killings out in the streets, man. How do we get past this cycle?
Listen. I'm like I said, I'm a white boy from Vallejo, right? Like I'm half Hispanic. I'm sorry, but when you look at me, you look at a straight white boy, right? And the thing is, I grew up in a Norteño family. I was never active in that, but I did prison time up here, and that's the way I came up, right? But the thing is when I got out, I had family members that were like, "Hey, you know what? You don't need to go back to this. You have areas to choose for what you to do, for you to choose what you can do with your life." And I took the CDL route, and bro, I'm telling you, that might not be for everybody, but
hey,
it was.
Amen, brother. The reason why I took it is because it seemed like the quickest way for me to get a job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just topped all over it.
Yeah, and exactly when you got out, I guarantee, bro, when you got out.
No. I never been to prison, bro. I'm a resident, bro. You know what I mean? I've been to county jail and shit like that, but you know what?
Oh, okay.
Hey, let's just say thanks to the man upstairs, I got away with a lot of shit. You know what? Finally, after 100 times of him putting up bridges.
You went to jail though. That's all that counts, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I snapped out of it, bro.
And I'm so sick of hearing people that say, like, somebody that, like, like me, I did, I got sentenced to 5 years. I did 37 months. Yeah, I didn't do no 10 years. I didn't do no 15 years. But you know what? I still got points, man. And the thing is when I got out, I was still looked at as a fucking piece of shit. Right. When I got out, they looked at me. They looked at my tattoos. I'm tattooed up from it. you know, they looked at me like, oh, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, because
Well,
that's what society does to us, man. They tend to judge a book by its cover rather than reading the book first, and that's the
hey,
problem
bro,
with society.
But that's
even
why it's on us. It's that's why it's on us and people like us to go to the neighborhood, and maybe not the neighborhood you grew up in, right? But go to whatever neighborhood you have access to, and if it's not where you're from, like I'm not from East Palo Alto, right? But
Yes, sir.
I built relationships with everybody in that community. And my truck got shot up taking kids to a midnight soccer program. I made it and all that other shit. I just went out and picked up
damn.
a couple of shells and threw them away so that nobody got in trouble. And I found out who shot up my truck. And I went and knocked on the door and was like, "Hey, fool, what happened?" Right? Like, it's to show them, like, I don't have to shoot.
Sea
I
Dog's
wanted to.
gangster.
You know what I'm saying? I
Sea
wanted
Dog's
to,
gangster.
right?
True that.
But
Hey,
but
true
I have
that.
to model.
Amen.
I have to model what I want them to do, right? So
Yes,
I
sir.
can't.
You know, I gotta interject. I gotta interject here, right?
Hold
Yes,
on,
sir.
hold on. So, like what Huero was saying about like helping his family and helping his kids, right, and helping his brothers. And I'm not trying to speak for you, homie. So obviously, you know, feel free to chime in or correct me, but that comes with a level of accountability too, right?
It
Because
does.
none of us want to be a hypocrite. None of
True.
us want to be two-faced, right? So if I'm sitting here encouraging you, hey, homie, there's a way. There's a path that does not involve penitentiary chances for you to have a better life than what you're having, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm saying that, then I can't go turn around and clap at this motherfucker who shot at me, right? Because that makes me a hypocrite, and it's not only harming me, but what did I just do to the inspiration and the hope I'm trying to pass on to them? So
Right.
working in
You're
a
right.
neighborhood gives a level of accountability to us because we're gonna be tempted, because we have triggers, because we have our own traumas. We're not just because we're out of the lifestyle doesn't mean that all that shit goes away. Just
It
because
doesn't. It doesn't.
community and
My
resources.
wife still to this day. My wife still to this day, bro. When
Okay,
I get hot,
okay, guys. I want to try to get Sea Dog and Weddle back in the conversation. I want to try to spread this conversation around. So I'm going to go
okay.
to Sea Dog right now and then Weddle. So I want everybody's input. We've been talking about these senseless murders. I know down south there's a lot of audio warfare. Sureños are killing Sureños. Sea Dog. I mean, how do we get past this whole cycle, man? I mean, where do you think we start, man? And I know you've gone through having a lot of homeboys killed, man. How do you stop having that hate for those enemies, man?
You got to start in the community, talking to the kids and showing them a positive, positive things, you got to have you got to have things to do, like events, like baseball, things like that to get them out of that, like boxing and certain type of events you can have to go with that, and then at the same time hit them with some positive, added, positive things, that way they could, build on that, and show them that that's the right way to go. Gang banging and killing each other, it's easy, man. That's not hard. You know what I mean? Anybody could do that. The hard part is trying to teach people and show them the positive way, and break from that cycle of killing each other, killing off our people, man. It's our gente, like we're harming each other. We're not doing nothing good,
But my
Weddle, your input, Weddle.
go ahead. My opinion. My opinion. Go ahead.
Weddle's go ahead, Weddle.
Yeah, so back to the main topic was the call that I made to Flaco about regarding my feelings that I was starting to feel that I hadn't felt in a long time, which was hate and anger, and I wanted vengeance. Right after stepping out of the gang life for like about 12 years, I thought I had grew out of it. I thought I was just focused on family and kids, but it crept up on me all of a sudden. And we spoke about it earlier, whoever wasn't watching, and one of the main reasons was like the homeboy Rascal said, it wasn't nothing about who the other people are or the barrio wasn't or any of that. It was mainly because it was my brother, my carnal, somebody that I loved. And of course it's gonna hurt me. Of course it's gonna make me feel a type of way if he got shot, and I'm human and I have the right to feel that way.
Yeah.
But I also have to be smart enough to not let it make me do bad decisions that are gonna cause an effect to my wife and to my kids and to another family. And this is where we know when we really become men, because we can control that and say, you know what, even though I feel this way, even though I want to hurt somebody, even though I want to take their life, it's not right. It's not going to solve anything. It's just going to bring a different family to the same pain that my homeboy's family was in. Not only that, but it's also going to bring my wife and my kids by themselves out here. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that we got to talk about. We got to push that, man, because it's so easy. It's so easy to just say, okay, I'm going to grab my strap. I'm going to go get this. I'm going to grab certain homeboys and let's get this shit done. You know, it's so easy to do that. Anybody can do that. We all done it before. We all pulled the trigger. We all been to prison. Anybody can do that. It doesn't take a man to do that. Right. But it takes a real man, a smart man, to say, nah, fuck this shit. I feel this way, but I'm smarter than that. I feel this way, but I'm going to focus on what's important, my wife and my kids. I got to lead my wife. I got to lead my kids. I got my brothers that are still looking at me, you know. There's other youngsters in the block that I can change, help them not go through that lifestyle, you know. And that's when we know that we become real men, real leaders, what we are supposed to be, you know. And we got to push that issue, you know. We got to take our kids camping. We got to show them about how to be successful in life. We got to tell them the consequences. Amen. You know, the consequences that I've done, that I paid. I've been to prison many years. You know, my jefita shed tears so many years. My homeboys are still getting killed because of choices we made in the past, you know. But I think I finally became a man. And this was a real test in my life, because I didn't think I was going to feel like this anymore. I didn't think I was going to feel that hate and that anger.
Okay, this panel is a prime example, Weddle. I mean, we got the brother from San Gabriel right here. We got San Diego. You from upstate, you know what I mean? Me from out there. Rascal right there. The other Weddle right here. We're all from different backgrounds, you know what I mean? But this life that we live, man, it doesn't discriminate what side of the tracks you're from, where you're from, geographical. We all feel the same way. We all go through the same things, man. Especially due to gang violence, you know what I mean? Having loved ones taken away. You know what I'm saying? Out there on the streets, man. I mean, it's a senseless act. I mean, we never realize when we're out there putting in this work, when we pick up that gun and decide to go shoot someone at random. I used to go out there, literally, when I was younger, go do my thing, get my cohete, and go clap at someone that I knew nothing about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I knew nothing about my enemies. Even on the prison yard, you know what I'm saying? I would know nothing because I never associated with them. I just had a natural hate for no reason. And the same thing, they would do the same thing whenever they caught me slipping. They didn't know nothing about me. They didn't know that I was a good-hearted person. I'd give the shirt off my back if you were a friend. You know what I'm saying? You don't realize that we're dealing with real people here. And that mindset that we keep controlling, that keeps on carrying on up here, man, just to take violence towards people because you're from a rival or this, that, it's a trend that continues, man, a path. Most of us, when we get into this gang lifestyle, it's very rare, you know what I'm saying, that the enemies we know, we really had a personal beef or issue with. I don't know one person that I had any type of gang issues or even a prison riot, melees or anything that I really could say that, man, I really had a personal issue with that person. Like, you know what I mean? That there was really funk. I didn't even know half these people.
Right.
That's the sad thing. We don't realize, like, your homeboy, like I said, he had a 15-year-old daughter. He had his jefita, you know what I'm saying? All his other family. They're mourning that loss. Just like the person, whoever commits this act, once they get caught for doing it, they're going to be doing 25 years of life. And you know what? They're going to hit a prison yard, and they're going to be on the same yard with people that he would consider his enemy out there in the streets. Right. There's no purpose. And it's the same thing down south in Southern California. I never understood that you have all these barrios and hoods. They'll kill each other out there, but as soon as they get to the county jail or prison, they click up and they're running together. You get what I'm saying? The cycle of gang violence needs to end. Yeah. You know what I mean? You said it before. You've said it before that, you know, there's so much division within Raza out there that when they're trying to promote anything positive, there's so much division within people. So we got to give people, empower people that they can change, man, that there's a whole different direction, man. And we're not going to reach every kid out there. We're not going to reach every elder up there. But it sucks, brother. I understand everything. I'm very empathetic. You know what I mean? I have much empathy for you for everything that you're going through. I get it. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? I felt honored, man, that you even thought of me to reach out and just, you know what I mean? And like I said, the next day, I told you I'd call you the next day. I called you to check on you, man, because
That's right.
you're a good individual. Everything that you have accomplished for your family, I see your posts, I see your social media posts, I see what your son's doing, how proud of a dad you are and everything. I see you in the backyard doing backflips in the swimming pool. Man, that's what life's all about. Grabbing that car outside,
Amen.
having your homeboys over, doing everything that you're doing, man. Those are the things that we need to show these youth that, look, this is what I accomplished. Look at what Huero's accomplished. He was in prison for 12 years, was in the feds, was everywhere, right? In the state. He has bought 3 homes already. He's ready to retire, I think, in 5 years? And you're only how old? 39 or 40?
40.
40 years old, man. And he went to prison and did all this time, and he's accomplished all this. He's bought his 3rd home right now. You know what I'm saying? Look at this panel we got. Like I said before, we're all from different walks of life, but we can come on here, man. And sometimes it's a circus, right? It's entertainment, but at least we're getting on out here and we're spinning some real shit sometimes. We need to come back to have a positive message, man. And it's real important that you guys listen out there, that if you really care about your communities, if you really care about your kids, your nephews, your sons, your brothers, you got to be that positive example. Everything that we can do out there in our communities, we can be impactful. We just can't just sit on our ass and fucking do nothing and just be on YouTube talking about what we want to do in our community and this and that. We got to go out there and be proactive, guys.
Well,
You know
and so not every role is fit for everybody, but everybody has something to bring to the table. You know what I mean? So not everybody can go create curriculum or run a nonprofit or go to juvenile hall or do, not everybody has the ability to do everything. Some people are.
They don't have to do. They don't have to. It's
right,
just what part you can do.
Right. Everybody though has something to
You got to
do.
have a team. There's a team. You have a team. Everybody got to play their position.
Well, and even if you don't have a team, you can operate solo, but just operate within what you can do. You don't want to overpromise. What you don't want to do is go out to the neighborhood tomorrow because you're all excited and be like, hey, homie, I'm gonna help you change the fucking world. And then the next day, oh man, I can't show up because I got my kids and I got work and I got this and I got that. Right? Like you got to be able to walk whatever you're proposing.
Yeah.
But something.
Yeah, you got to.
And then there's a saying that I use a lot. Some people get it now. Some people get it later. Some people never get it. But we don't know who's who. So we give it freely to everybody and let the chips fall where they may. Right?
Yeah.
You can't be discouraged because you're talking to somebody and I've talked to dudes, man, that got a pistol in their pants and dope in their pocket. And they're like, hey, Rascal, I'm good right now where I'm at, homie. I hear you, but I'm good. Okay, much love. I'll shake their hand. I'll give them a hug. Next time I see them, I treat them with respect and regard. It's all good, right? If you ever get tired, come holler at me, bro. If you want to explore something else, let me know. But in the meantime, ain't no love lost. And when you catch a case, you'll hear from me. Don't trip. I'm here, right? So it's not running around judging people, but it's just being there. You have to earn the right to speak into people's life. Your status in prison, what you did in the neighborhood, none of that shit matters to these kids, bro. You have to earn the right by spending time, like what Huero's been saying, right? Take them places. If you have this ability, which I've done this, right? And obviously Huero's done it too. And I've seen the results firsthand. I've gone home and cried at what I've been privileged to witness. And I've also gone home and cried because motherfuckers that I really loved and really wanted to change got their head knocked off too. Like it goes all the way around. But if you take people out of the environment that they're used to, their defenses go down. If you take people from the hood and take them camping, nobody knows what the fuck to do camping. Youngsters from the hood, from the bay, and we went to the snow. I never been to the snow before either. We all commented that it looked like really fucking pure coke, right? Like, and we laughed and we had a good time and we threw snowballs. And at the time I was in my mid-30s, right? And they're teenagers. But I'm watching dudes who would never talk to each other in the neighborhood. And they live a mile apart, but they might as well be a world apart, right? Because of hood conflicts. But now they're both in the fucking snow in Tahoe. They're out of their element, right? And what they realized then is me and this dude who lives a mile away from me back in the neighborhood are the only motherfuckers that understand each other. When we're on the gondola going up there, these fucking white people don't know who we are. Nobody around here appreciates our experience of diving on the ice skating rink in snow clothes and fucking banging into each other. We look like crazy fools. But we make sense to each other now. But we wouldn't have known that if we stayed on the block. Because on the block, we got our vests up, we got our shields on, we got our mask on. Take people out the neighborhood. Take them to a place that they're not comfortable, but where they're safe and healthy. Don't force shit, right? You don't want to be stupid, right? And oh, hey, this Norteño and this Sureño, you guys are gonna share a room. Like, don't get carried away. Yeah.
Hey, amen. Amen. You know what? Shout out to everybody on the panel. You know, I just popped in, you know, just to comment on that CDL thing. Like I said, I'm just a resident, never gangbanged in my life. You know what I mean? I'm a productive member to society, which I try to be. You know, I stopped committing crimes a hell of a long time ago, and you know, I stop at every stoplight, count to 3, and then go. You know what I mean? Because that's the way I'm living nowadays. But you know what? God bless everybody, and God bless positivity. Because you know what? That's the only way to make it out the storm is, you know, is being righteous. Bro. You know what I mean? So, hey, God bless everybody on the panel. I'm gonna tap out, and you guys have a great night.
And
now,
that's
God bless you, bro.
I'm not from no neighborhood. I'm a resident of the San Gabriel Valley. You know what I mean? I'm just a regular Joe.
No, but that counts. Real quick before you tap out, homie. That counts. Sometimes we get caught up in this fucking pissing contest of who did more time and who did time where and who's this and who's that. Fuck that, bro. If you're from the neighborhood, you've been through some shit. Whether you carried a baño or not, whether you went to prison or not, whether you got a bunch of fucked up, funny looking tattoos like I
lived in the hood,
right? There's a similarity, there's a commonality. If you and I sat down and spent the 20 minutes talking offline, we will find that guaranteed we have stuff in common.
Oh, definitely, homie.
Stop. I think sometimes people hesitate to jump in the arena of serving the community because they're like, nah, that ain't for me. And I'm not saying you're doing this. I applaud you for coming on here. But what I would encourage you and everybody else, you know, words matter. And so be careful of your words in the sense of I'm just this or I'm just that or I'm not this. Bro, you're a man and you're providing for your family and you're setting a good example. And that matters.
Yeah, I'm a dad first.
Right. Right. And so that in itself matters a hell of a lot more than if you did time or where you did time or how you were in the neighborhood fucking 20 years ago or whatever. Like, that's part of that hating. That's part of that division that we do amongst ourselves. You see somebody that's working with youngsters and you're like, look at that fool working.
Oh, no, I'm down with it, man. You know what? I support that 100% because you know what? If there's anything I can do for my community to bring them out of the darkness, then that's what I'm going to do because I'll try to be that light in the darkness. You know what I mean? Like, I you know, that's it.
And that's a value, homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Hey, my phone's about to die, but you know what? Hey, saludos to everybody on the council. Hey, you know what? Gotta go, man. You guys have a good night. Hey, thank you for having me on. Right, guys.
Also, guys, I gotta get off too myself, but I just wanted to reach out and say, Flacco, if you can put my email out to everybody, anybody that is looking for a way out for a CDL, something.
I got you 100%, man.
Hey, just
thank you. Appreciate it.
Anybody that needs that, reach out to me. I'm being 100% honest. That's from the bottom of my heart. All right,
bro. Thank you.
And I'll be out here every day. I'm part of Flacco's channel now. I mean, and Gunners, you know. So I mean, if anybody needs anything, please reach out to my email and I'll help out. So I just want to say to you guys, I salute and I appreciate everything you guys are doing for everybody. Okay.
Appreciate you. Thanks for contributing.
All right, guys. Bye.
So C-Dog, man.
You know what? Hey, you know what? It's like this, dog. You know where it all starts? It starts in your family, when you grow up in a dysfunctional family. You know, your pops, your mom. You know, your dad probably drinks. Your mom, you know,
not all of us had bad families, though, man. Some of us, like, I mean, they tried to do the best that they could, though. Some of us did come from dysfunctional families. Some of us came to a new country where things were different and a lot harder. You know what I mean? We all have a different past, man. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
I mean,
that's true.
Like for you, right? Like, okay, you know what I mean? You was a Sureño from out there, San Diego, from Shelltown, 38, right? Like you used to funk with hoods out there, right? You had homeboys die, right, from like rival neighborhoods, right?
Oh yeah, man. I got a gang of homies die. I mean, getting killed, all that. You know what I mean? We're killing people killing. You know what I mean? Like back and forth. You know, like Yeah, that's what it was.
And you had hate for other radicals, right?
Yeah, well, you know what? To be honest with you, at the time, it wasn't really like hate. It was just something like that's what we were doing at the time. You know, that's what it was. You know.
But I mean, like, have you experienced any homeboys get killed from gang activity recently?
Yeah. My neighborhood people are still getting killed. Yeah, they're still getting killed out there. Yeah. You know. But like I said, like me personally, I never seen it as hate. I just looked at it as business. You know, we just taking care of business. You know what I mean? I'm from a neighborhood, and this is what I signed up for. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I just looked at it a certain way. You know, like it was what it was, and it, you know, if I was carrying a gun and I was gonna like, you know, just do what I had to do, bro. You know, that's all it was. You know, it wasn't nothing personal at the end of the day. But like I said, we were going back and forth, killing each other. You know what I mean? For what?
We got Big D tapping in. We got Big D tapping into you. Have you been checking this out since we've been live, brother?
Yeah, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing, man? I've been checking you guys out for the last like 10 minutes, man. So I just thought I'd just come in and just, you know, give a little drop on it. You know, I mean, my opinions and experiences and the things that I've been through. If you guys don't mind, you know, thanks for having me on.
Where you from, brother? Where you originally from?
I'm from Whittier, bro. You know what I mean? I'm from Quiet Village. I don't know if you guys heard of that, Southeast, right there in Whittier. I grew up in Boyle Heights, right there in East LA first, you know. But like everybody else, you know, we have a story, we have a past, you know. But basically, what I'm trying to come out and say is that one thing, you know, through my experience, because I never been to prison either. I mean, they try to give me prison time many of times, you see, and we're trying to always fight against adversity, right? So every time that we went into court. Every time that we went, you know, they put us in the line of county, you know, they're already trying to hang us, right? That was our whole motive from the beginning. And we kind of knew what the consequences were when we did our actions. But then again, we went in blind to it because of our emotions. I don't know if you guys would agree with me first and would say, but, you know, I had a lot of emotional problems growing up. Like me, I grew up without a father, right? My father passed away of gang violence too. If he, you know, he got shot, he was from a neighborhood, you know, I was only 6 months into the world and, you know, he got taken away, you know, so, you know, he decided to go out with his homies and, you know, and then, you know, through that decision, you know what I mean, he paid a heavy price, which I was left to, you know what I mean, to be in this world. And I had to experience the rest of it without guidance. That's the main thing that this whole thing's all about. There's no guidance, there's no structure, right? And so growing up like that, you know, I mean, I already had, you know, emotional situations, emotional issues. And I don't know, like I see you guys coming out. I think a lot of homies, as we get older, we could start being honest with ourselves. I have emotional problems. I have feelings. I have emotions, right? And when we were young, what do? We try to hide them, right? We didn't want to exploit our emotions because there's only two things that happen when you're a gang member, straight out the emotions, whether you're going to show some love or you're going to show some hate. And most of the time, it was hate. You know, and what I'm trying to say was what I want to promote and what I say is everything's about educational, bro. Okay. I did my thing, gang bang for 13, 14 years. And I noticed that our raza, you know, if you're mixed, half, Latino, whatever it is, we're not educated. And I hope people don't get offensive about that, you know, so please, you know, please don't get offensive because I have no GED, I have no diploma, but I'm just trying to keep it real. But I made an initiative to go back to college, right? And no, I didn't graduate yet, you know, but I'm almost to my mark where I'm always going to graduate and just get an AA. To me, that's like a master's degree, right? That's a master's degree. So let me emphasize on my wife. My wife's done prison time. Okay. And you know what I mean? Women, we can't just forget about us men because there's a cause and effect. Women are also victims of this too. Right. So my wife done like 10 years of prison, in and out, sold drugs. She was in the San Fernando Valley area. You know, she did her things, you know, but she's been victim. You know, women, you know, they're victims accustomed to a lot of things. But now me and her as a team, we try to work together because we, like you guys said, we want to give back. That's our whole message, our whole motive. So she's going to graduate and hopefully by the beginning of this year, and she's going to work in a correctional facility. So that's what we're talking about, giving back. The only way that we could go and give back if we educate ourselves. Because who is representing the Raza right now, really, in the Senate, in Capitol Hill, and the politics in Washington? There's really nobody. Okay, we got a Ted Cruz, you know, we got this person, but really, who's going to represent us? That anybody that understands? You know, you got to understand, many of us, we're qualified. We're qualified men right here. Why I say that? Because we've been there and done that, and nobody could never take that away from us, and that's keeping it real. You know, we have to give back to our community through our experiences. Yeah, it kind of sucks, you know, because like I said, I grew up without a dad, but I'm not the only one. I don't want people to feel sorry for me. Back then I did, you know, but I used that feeling sorry for me, and I took that feeling sorry for me into anger, into rage. We're emotional. We have emotions, like I said, whether we're happy or whether we're sad. But my emphasis, I like to emphasize that we need to educate our raza. We need people that we need to be the mayors. We need them to be governors. You know, we need them to be the governor. I mean, we got Governor Newsom running up a mark up here, and he's saying he's for the Hispanic people. Okay, is he really? I mean, I'm not mocking the person, but what is he doing for, like I heard the homeboy said earlier, what kind of programs do we have for us men, for Latino, the people that have been locked up, busted, you know, right away, you know, if you don't have how do we used to call ourselves? Okay, we were convicts, inmates. Then guess what? If the less of us that are out there and that are doing that transition, there's less cops, there's less probationary officers, there's less this, and there's less that. And that's one thing that I want to emphasize and say is that we need to educate ourselves, because it's needed. It's really, really needed. I mean, right when we go to jail or when you go to prison, the homies come out and say, we got to school you, homie. That's the first thing they say. We need to school you, right? Well, you know what? We need to school them now, you know, because there's a lot of transition going on. I still talk to my homeboys, and right now, I'm going to be real blunt with you guys. You know, my neighborhood is bad right now. Bad, right? Because of the drogas, you know, because of the transitions that are taking place in prison. I don't want to speak too much about that, but how much of the influence are we getting in there that's coming out here that's been happening for a long time? You know, but no disrespect to anybody. You know, I would never want to forget anybody who's done their time and put in their time, because, hey, that's what we were all about. We're on the streets. It was all about time and putting in work. That's what I would like to say.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Good work.
That's right. Hey,
What's up?
I let Rojo drive. Rojo's doing the driving right now, so I just jumped in the passenger seat. I just wanted to send a shout out to the panel, man. I'm feeling what you guys are pushing tonight. The positivity is real. Hey, what's up, Huero? My condolences, brother, for your homeboy. Sea-Dog, you already know what it is, family. Hey, and Rascal,
all right.
Order the dishes. What's up, boy? I see you. Believe me, I see you. Well, what's up, homeboy? What's your name over here in the corner?
You call me Big D, homie.
Big D, you got your own YouTube. You got your own YouTube channel too, right?
Yeah, Simon. I got my own YouTube channel. But see, let me be honest with you guys about my YouTube channel, right? My YouTube channel does really not promote anything that has to do with gangs or bad past experience. When I'm videotaping and what I record is basically about education. Let's talk about the children, like I said, that you know, that are coming from Mexico, that they have them all over the country. You know, my videos come out like Magic Mountain. You know, I mean, spending time with my family. You be the simplicity of it, you know, because I'm not trying to exploit not too much of what I used to be, but what I am now as a man and the transition. And I have a lot of content that I still want to come out. There's a lot of things that I want to work with. But my thing is basic, you know, I'm not really trying to promote, you know, this and that, you know, and some of it needs to be exposed. Yeah, it has to be exploited. But how much are we going to exploit it before we start exploiting the education? Because these next youngsters that are coming up, you know what I mean? They have to understand is like, hey, go back to school, get your GED, treat your old ladies right, treat your mom right, respect your mother, respect your father, you know, go to work, you know, go to school, you know, do anything else besides the hustle that we were experiencing so they could benefit for their generation. And that's how the transition that I think starts changing and you know what I mean, going into a positive direction. And that's where I think the narrative will go. That's just my opinion.
That's right, Big D, man. Saludos, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to circle back around on that education piece, but there's somebody else right here too that I think wants to say something. I'm not trying to take over your moderator role, Flock, but yeah.
gentes. What's happening, my brother?
There you
Yeah,
go.
you know what? That's so true. You know, we gotta be part of the solution and not the problem. You know, we gotta if you're not with it, you're against it. You know, and we
That's
all
right,
got it.
bro.
You know, we all grew up.
You
We're
know,
all brothers. We gotta stick together. You know, and
What's
we're
this?
all we got, man. You know, like
Things
some
in
of
here.
us,
That's
you know,
all
some
you
of us we grew up without fathers. You know, like for me too. You know, all we had was the gangs. You know, all we had was our brothers. You know, which is good. You know. But then like we said too, we grow up and we get smarter, we get wiser, we're still on the hunt, but we're just a little smarter. Instead of taking out one, we're taking out them all, you know. And so, you know, we're just smarter now, you know. We're just pushing.
No, that's
that's
good.
right, man. Aquatic Amigo said, "Bless your heart, man. You in the right. You go in the right. These are all the things like the positive message that we're all trying to promote. We're trying to advocate. I know the brother Weddle, man. His message today, man. He went through something rough this week, man. This is something that he wanted to discuss, man. About and you're a prime example, man. Like you lost your father at a young age. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize how the other people are affected by these type of crimes, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is the message we're trying to reiterate for people out there. Like before you pick up that gun, before you decide to go out there and gangbang, there's a whole different way of a solution of living. You got to think of the consequences and the cause and effect that you're affecting other people. And if you do get caught, which 99% of the time you're going to get caught, you're going to affect your family as well. So nobody wins in these situations, man. Nobody does, man. You know?
Well, I'll tell you this too, bro. Not only did I lose my father, bro, I lost my primo too, bro. You know, I lost my cousin in '96. He was only 16 years old. He got blasted 19 times, bro. You know, and you know, at that part, you know, that's when the world became real to me, man. To be honest with you, you know, losing my father, I didn't have no knowledge or no recognition of that. But when I lost my cousin, you know what I mean, that's when emotions really came in. You know, that's when for all you youngsters that are out there, you know, let me tell you this, man. You know, being a gang member, 90% of it is hard time. Everybody says, oh, it's all fun and games and this and that. But that's the 10%. When, you know, that's when you're a weekend warrior, when you're out there just partying with your hyenas and partying with the homies. But the other 90%, whoever's telling you that it's all gravy, nah, it ain't gravy, man. You know what I mean? It's more like mashed potatoes, bro.
No, and that's the thing is we're living with trauma, right? And as men in particular, it's important for us to be as transparent as we're comfortable being, right? Like different people are at different phases in their emotional recovery of the lifestyle. You know what I mean? And so, but it's important to acknowledge that shit. Like, bro, I've like many people on here have said, and like Wedo talked about in the loss of Arturo, right? And you're talking about in terms of the loss of your father and your loved ones, and I've lost loved ones and relatives, and we all been through the same shit, basically, right? I was talking to got a homeboy that's a Sureño from San Diego, right? And I met him at UC Berkeley. We're both students there, but I'm gonna circle back on the education thing in a minute. But if I was born down there, I'd have been a Sureño. I'm not a Norteño because of some fucking magic shit in the sky or because I'm better than anybody. It's because I was born in the Bay Area, Northern California, and that's how I get down.
Yeah.
Right? If I was born somewhere else, I would be in the same lifestyle, but a different look, maybe. Whatever the look of that was there. Because I was a fucked up, traumatized kid, right? That was seeking something that the neighborhood provided. And I don't regret that the neighborhood provided it. There's a difference between survival and living. And shouts out to all the people who have done what they had to do to survive. That is a fucking accomplishment.
That's right.
But that should not be the ceiling of where we're trying to go. You know what I mean? So we gotta not put people down for surviving. Look, bro, you do what you gotta do to make it how you make it, right? But at the same time, let's not stop there. Like survival is one step above death, right? How do we get people to aspire to and to actually believe that they are worthy of living? Because I never thought that I was worthy to be out of prison and in society as a normal functioning person, right? That wasn't my deck that I was dealt. That wasn't the hand I was dealt. And I believed that my whole life, right? Until I was 30 years old getting out of the Pelican Bay shoe. And even then I wasn't sure. I came home and I tried to order a sandwich and I got embarrassed and I fucking snapped on a dude at the subway and I walked out and I told my mom and my sister, I don't belong out here. I can't even order a fucking sandwich at Subway. This is too much for me, right? And at that moment, I would rather go back to that solitary confinement cell and sit in the SUP program for the rest of my life as a validated person.
Got you, bro.
Than walk down the fucking street and go into another store, right?
Right.
But
right.
I had people, which a lot of people don't have. I had people who reminded me of the person that I said I wanted to be, even in those moments where I didn't believe I could be that person. You know what I mean? And that's what the building relationships does. That's what spending time was what I was talking about earlier. That's what that does. Is it's a reminder that, bro, you have value beyond the paño that you carry. You have value beyond the barrio that you're from. Not that those things don't have any value, and not that all your homeboys are bad, but you have value beyond that. Not instead of that, but you're more than just that. And congratulations for making it as far as you have, how you made it. But homie, how do we take the step forward? And
I'll tell you, can I elaborate on that? Can I elaborate on that? So let me tell you this. So going, you know what I mean? Growing up, like I said, the educational, bro. All of us have been there and done that, bro, right? So let's just say I'm going to emphasize. I have to keep emphasizing on education. And the reason why I say this, like, let me tell you this, okay? So we got. Let's just say a person, right? Never, he grew up in the suburbs, has a mom and dad, but they go to school for correctional facility. Okay, they go to school for that. They never know how it is to be busted. Never lost a relative. Don't know the trauma, the PTSD. None of that stuff they never experienced. I'm not mocking them, okay? I'm not mocking them because they go to school and they put that time. When you go to school and you put your time like I did, and I went and I educated myself, you know what I mean? People take value in that, you're right? Because it shows a little bit of discipline. That's what it shows you. It shows that you have care, you have emotions, okay? So with everybody that we have experienced, we have the education, bro. We have the answer. We are the answer. The only thing that we're missing is the paperwork. And that paperwork means you got to go to Klesha, homie. You got to go to Klesha, bro. So by me having that Klesha, I was able to go to San Diego, right there in North County in Vista. And me and my wife, we have our anger management program. We were able to go work for the government and get paid $25 an hour. I mean, going into a facility, bro, I'll never forget. Like, I never been to prison, big dog. And I don't think that I had to just to go to be a man, because before you go to prison, you need to be from the streets first. That's just straight up, bro. You know, because you take that street mente to the prison. That's just straight up, bro. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, bro. But homies that will come on and say, oh, I've done 2 years, 3 years, you know what I mean? I was holding it down. Hey, homie, you know what? While you were busted in there, I was still holding it down. Getting shot. I've been blasted 3 times, been stabbed twice. I've been bricked, the whole 9 yards, bro. The way you taking your losses, I'm taking mine too. So don't come over here don't come with me with that, oh, just because I was locked there. So, hey, if you get caught, homie, you get caught. That's just the name of the game. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime, bro. Gang banging ain't for you, big dog. Right. But like I said, we are the resources, homie, because we've been there and done that. We could go to a youngster and tell him, hey, man, you know what? Hey, homie, see the homies right here in this panel, man? You know what I mean? We've been there and done that, you know what I mean? Because all the little homies that are out there, they're just looking for love, homie. That's what I'm saying. We need emotions. They just want the attention. They just want to. When I went to the county jails, man, because these guys were for early releases, right? You know, they get busted for, like, they got caught with meth or a little bit something. So I was in a program where we were trying to find them some housing, but it was up to them. But to go inside to the institution and to see homies and you relate to them, they relate more to you, to the person that's never been there, never done that. And like I said, I'm not mocking them, but for those who go out there and get their education, but it's for us. If we want to make a move and a step, we need to get educated, homie. I'm just being very blunt with you, bro.
Wedo, we got a whole different path. We got to let other people jump in too. So Wedo, what's your input on all this too, brother?
Well, yeah, Big D says very important thing. Education is the key, and the more knowledge you have on what you want to do in life, as you get educated, it's easier for you to get a step further in what you want in life. But like
hey, Wedo, no disrespect, no, not to cut you off, but when your kid's going to school, what are you pushing? What are you telling them to get there? What are you telling them to get, homie?
Repeat that again.
I said if you have kids and you pushing them to go to school, what are you telling them? What are you emphasizing? What are you encouraging them to get, bro? Their education, que no?
Yeah, I have 6 kids, man. So I push them to get good education. I always tell them, if you want to have good jobs, get educated, get good grades. I told them, if you want to live rent a room and have a car with a broken window and it's always breaking down, I told them, don't pay attention in school. That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna live renting a room. You're gonna be borrowing money for gas and all that. But I told them, unless you have a certain skill, I told them, I never got a high school diploma or anything, but I'm good with building stuff. So I told them, I was able to make it because I know how to build anything. I can build a house. I build skyscrapers in San Francisco. You know, I have that ability to build all that stuff. And I told them I never graduated, but I got into the union and I got that. I told them, unless you have a certain kind of skill, like if you're a really good artist or whatever, and if you think you can make it on that, then go for it. But if you don't, get educated. Be a doctor, be a lawyer, do something that you want to do, but you got to get those good grades. You know, and yeah, it's very important. Education is very important. I agree on that.
Okay, we got 2 new guests on the forum. We have Mark and we have Fish Slayer. Mark, what do you have to tap in on this conversation? I know you've been listening. You just tapped in, brother. What do you have to say, brother?
I'll say salute to everybody. I'm coming up from Story up in North. I just want to say I like everybody's input. My main thing, like I said, we'll have a trial tribulation. We're all going through our trouble. We're all going through our path. Myself personally, I found my thing in serving God. Being in church, being in leadership, doing that. Myself personally, like I said, our past, we all gone through different situations, whatever it may be. I'm not gonna speak too much on that, but like I said, that's my main thing. I'm here to say whatever. What I was going to share my personal story on that alone. Just finding God in my struggles. I want to cut it short. But saying anybody needs any kind of help, anybody need to talk to. I've been in the church for about a little over 10 years. You guys always I'm usually on this on Facebook and Mark Rivas, even on Instagram. Look me up with it. Just keep it short, keep it positive. That's what I think. I love you guys' channel. So you guys are doing. I know it's been tough, whatever it be North, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it's all love. It's all love, and that's all I'm gonna say. Okay.
Appreciate it, man. We got Fish Slayer coming in from San Diego. Fish Slayer, tap in, brother. You just text me. You said, "Man, I got to jump in this panel." Let's hear what Fish Slayer got to say.
Hey, first and foremost, man, this is a great panel. I mean, Huero, my condolences, bro. From the bottom of my heart, all you guys, it's good combo. This is the reason why I tap into this channel. But I mean, I'm gonna be the elephant in the room now. You know, the whole education thing and all that. And I could kind of relate to. I can't remember your name. Excuse me. The homie that was talking about education, right? I kind of live the same life as this homie right here, but you know, and I recruit from some schools to. I'm currently employing 400 guys, Southern California, right? And I mean, going to college, all that stuff. I didn't go to college. I went to the 9th grade, and I'm Southern California operations manager. I mean, going to college isn't for everyone, dude. I mean, OJT, on the job training, leading by example. That's what I do every day. Respect is my #1 priority in everything I do, whether it's sweeping the floor or hanging the iron and being the lead guy on the job. And I don't want to. The reason why I wanted to jump in and I text Flaco is I don't want people to look at it like, okay, I got to go to college to be something. I'm a perfect prime example of not going to college. I don't even have my GED. I used my wife's diploma, whited out her name, wrote my name in, and here I am, operations manager of Southern California. So that's real talk, guys.
So I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So and I agree with you, right? As somebody that went to college in prison and went to college in the streets, I 100% agree with you. I think so. In your journey to becoming employed the way that you are now, right? And being able to be the example and the role model and provide actual work opportunities to people, that journey required you to, I'm assuming, at times humble yourself and learn new things from other people, right?
Oh no, you're absolutely right, Rascal. And I see where you're going with this. I as far as I did learn, and I
Yeah.
did have to educate myself, and that's 100%. But
Yeah.
as far as
So we
me
have
going
to.
to any sort of college, I'm sorry.
No, I think I get what you're saying, and but I just kind of want to air it out for folks, right? Of the college, not college conversation can sometimes become a divide between people. And I'm not saying that you guys are doing that, Fish Slayer or Big D, of course, right? But to other people, it could be a thing of, oh, well, I did it this way, or you do it that way, or whatever, right? But all of it, no matter how you do it, whether it's Huero building fucking skyscrapers in San Francisco, or D going to college, or you becoming an operation manager for half the fucking state, right? Like, all of us in our journeys to living a more healthy life is required us to step out and learn shit that we didn't know, right?
You gotta
And
learn
whether you're
something.
learning it in a classroom, or you're learning it on a job site, or you're just learning how to fucking show up for work and sign in every day at Walmart, no matter what you're doing, those are skills, right? Those are
You gotta
skills.
learn something.
And right, like in prison we used to always say, man, you
No,
don't mind somebody, right? But the same is true for you. So you learned, you educated yourself, you got educated by other people, and it's just as valuable outside a classroom as in a classroom. It got you to
Exactly.
where you are. So it's just learning,
no,
maybe more.
no, yeah, for sure. I could have said it better than you, Rascal. 100%. I just, I looked at it from both ends, and it almost came out like, if you don't go to college, you ain't gonna be shit, right?
Right.
And that's where I came from. But I mean, I get what you said it. You said it exactly how I wanted it to come out. I mean, I wish I would have chose the doctor route 100%, right? My back feels it. My back feels it right now,
Right.
But I went to the school of hard knocks, and I got mine with a shovel, right? And now I dropped that shovel aside. And I didn't want the misconception or the misguidance, because I mean, that's how I took it. And maybe other people's out there took it the same way. That this may, your message, the way you portrayed it, can get past it. And hey, there's different avenues. There's different ways to, sometimes you got to risk it to get the biscuit, type
Amen.
thing. And
Right.
that's all I'm saying. And it's no disrespect to anyone. The avenues you took, whatever you do, and that's why I salute you guys every time, because you guys take it from one extreme to the next. If you're gonna be out there, if you're gonna go out there, run it, do it right. Do it 100% right.
Okay, guys, I gotta take control of the panel. I'm gonna let everybody close this live out. I'm gonna let everybody say something in closing. We'll start with Rascal. We'll go from Rascal Weddle to Sea Dog all the way down. I appreciate having all you guys on the panel tonight, man. You guys brought all kinds of different perspectives, all kinds of different input, man. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it moving. Rascal, what do you got to say before we close?
So obviously with my channel and everything else, I use the acronym HOMIE a lot. HOMIE, for those who don't know. And I use that as an acronym or an abbreviation, whatever. The hood loves that shit, for helping others move in excellence, right? There's more than one way to be a homie, right? And really, as homies, no matter where you're from or what you look like or whatever else, right? Our role is to help others move in excellence, and part of that is helping ourselves. Part of that is forgiving ourselves, is finding healing for ourselves, is believing in ourselves and our own value, but then also helping others to take that step. So you can be a homie, but everybody uses that word so much. Oh, the homie this, the homie that, the homie this. But you ask them to define it, or it's a person from my neighborhood, or it's somebody who thinks like me, or it's somebody that I've known for a long time, right? And and so we talk about what it is to be a homie without having the same understanding of what a homie is. And I'm not asking everybody to adopt mine. Who the fuck am I? But I'm just saying for myself, that's the approach. And the only other point is, and in the different spiel, probably on my own channel, I'll do the thing about education, right? But the other thing, talk to each other. And even if it's remotely, even if it's virtually like this, there's norteños, there's sureños, there's people from out of state, there's people that done fed time, there's people that done no time. There's all kinds of people. We learn from each other that way. And that we talk about reducing the violence, right? To get back to how all this started with Huero and his loss and his community's loss, right? What do? We have to de-stigmatize one another, right? Everybody complains that raza stigmatized this and that, which is true. But we stigmatize each other, right?
That's true.
Oh, those
That's
dudes
true.
over there ain't like me, Holmes. My people are better than their people, blah, 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 blah. Talk to a motherfucker and realize, hey, you know what? We're not that different. We don't want that different of things. All of us right here, no matter where we're from or how we're living our life now, we all want the same shit, bro. We want our kids to grow up safe. We want to stop fucking going to funerals. We want loved ones to stop dying. We don't want people to live with the nightmares that we have. We don't want our loved ones to have to deprogram themselves like we have. We want opportunities for our people around us that we don't even know. We want the violence to stop. We want the cops to leave. We want to be able to be in peace, right? We all want the same shit. And yet we are our own biggest obstacles sometimes because we don't understand or believe that the other side, whatever the fuck that is just like our side. Maybe a little bit different style, maybe a little bit different wardrobe. Maybe we like different colors, we like different numbers or different sports teams. That's superficial shit, right? At the end of the day, we're people. We're still humans. And we're normal fucking people. We may have had some traumatizing upbringing, but we're not abnormal. We are who we are. It is what it is, right? But we want the same shit. We don't want to go to prison. We don't want to be strung out on dope. We don't want our loved ones to experience that, right? So building that commonality, realizing like, damn, fool, I really got no reason to have fun with you, right? And if I do have a reason to have fun with you, you got reason to have fun with me too, right? But we can let that go as men. We can grow past the expectations of us fucking shooting each other. We don't have to play the game, you know? And you don't either.
That's right.
And so that's it. That's my closing spiel. Hey, but much respect to all you guys, man. Much love to all you guys.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too, homie.
And let's keep doing this in your own little circle, even if it's just your own family or your fucking neighbor or the little jackass knucklehead down the street. Like, use the opportunities that you have, not to judge and fucking thump people over the head, but to show them that they're respected and valued and seen and loved. You know, and then see where it goes.
All right, Wedo, you're next, man. Your closing statement, man. This was a good live. Thank you for being on here, man. I think we reached a lot of people out there with our message on here, man. What do you have to say in closing?
Right. First of all, I want to say a shout out to all those people that tapped in and joined the live, and all those people that took their time to send a positive comment on the comment section. All those that send their condolences my way. Thank you. It's really appreciate it. Gracias. I'm hurting, man. I'm hurting. My buddy, my friend, my best friend got killed, and I'm gonna miss him, you know. But I'm gonna use that feeling. I'm gonna reverse it. Instead of turning it into hate, I'm gonna turn it into more of a reason to push that message where we gotta stop the violence, because of the way I'm feeling. I don't want nobody else to feel the way I saw his parents crying. I don't want to see his other parents feel the same way, you know. And to the vatos that shot my homeboy, I really hope you change your ways before it's too late. I really hope that you open up your mind and realize that the life you're living is a mistake, and I hope you get a second chance and be able to have a wife and kids and enjoy the sunlight, the beach, carne asadas. I really hope you don't get caught, and I really hope you change your ways. You know,
Yeah.
to be honest, because I myself could have been doing life in prison, you know, but I had a second chance, and I really changed my ways, you know, and I really hope to Gavato, that Shama homeboy, I really hope you change your ways, man. I really hope that you get a second chance, and that you're able to have a wife and kids, and enjoy life, and that you become a productive member in society, and that you're able to help your kids, your nephews, your little homeboys, and say, hey, my life was a fucking mistake. I was making mistakes, but I opened up my eyes in time and changed, you know. I really hope from the bottom of my heart that that happens to you, man. And same time, man, we gotta stop the violence. We're just killing each other. We're causing pain to each other. And I'm starting with my family, with my wife, my kids, and my brothers. So from them, it could spread out to their wife, their kids, our nephews, our cousins, and it just keeps spreading out, you know, to our neighbors, to our front door neighbors. Even when I see little youngsters in the street, I don't see them as norteños or sureños. I just see them as young kids lost in this world of fantasy. Because at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's a world of fantasy that brings real consequences. And when I see them living that kind of lifestyle, when I see 12, 13-year-old kids living that lifestyle, I say like, man, I really hope they change. And I try to talk to them, hey, what's up, man? Come here, come here. And I try to give them some positive words, man. And if they're neighbors, you know, invite them to the carne asada, to a swimming pool, and stuff like that, you know. So I'm gonna do my part as a grown man, a man that grew out of that mentality, a man that saw the real picture, that the lifestyle that I was living was fake, that the lifestyle that I was living was just a fantasy, and that a lot of people were paying consequences. So that's all I want to say for today.
Man, thanks for being on, Weddle. Sea
Appreciate
Dog,
you,
wake
bro.
up. Wake up, Sea Dog. Are you falling out over there?
What's
You're
up,
right, man.
homie?
Oh, open them eyes, let's say. Open them
My eyes are
eyes.
like that, bro. I got Chinese eyes, homie. My eyes are always gonna be like that, you know.
Okay, hey, any last words? Hey, Weddle, before I jump on the Sea Dog, man, look at the comments, bro. You're getting a lot of support, man, from a lot of gente, bro.
Ah,
All right, Sea
Appreciate it,
Dog,
man.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
closing words,
Gracias.
brother.
Yes, sir. The only thing I want to say is this, man. You got to be positive in everything in life. You got to look at everything in a positive way, because if not, you're going to just wreck yourself, bro. I'm out here in Mexico deported, right? Everything I did, I went to prison, all that was it nothing. Now I'm out here in Mexico dealing with different people, different things, you know what I mean? Like, man, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? My family's over there in the US. I'm over here by myself, homie, against the world, like Tupac said, homie. So if this is what you want, this is what you want to get deported, you want to be away from your family in a no man's land, you know what I mean? We're over here, they're cutting people up, chopping them up, and it's an everyday thing, man. Nothing changes over here. So is it worth it? Do you think it's worth it? You let me know, you know?
That's right.
Right?
That's right. So we're gonna go from here. I'm gonna have you end this, Big D. So I'm gonna go to Fish Slayer first, man. Fish Slayer.
Hey, all I gotta say, man, is on this panel, there's a lot of years experience, man. There's hundreds of years experience right here, and if you know, there's probably over 300 on the live. If everyone could just reach out to one person, man, it would be a start, and it would multiply. I appreciate, man. This has got to be my favorite one. I have to say that. Again, just thanks for all you guys, what you guys do, for sharing your experiences. I've learned a lot from them. You know, in day to day, of you know, sometimes we learn from other people's mistakes, and I think that's the whole point of this whole thing you guys are trying to push. Just keep doing what you guys are doing, man. Much respect to all, and keep it pushing. That's all I got, man.
Okay, I guess, man, I'm gonna say our next guest, man, you were a real good sport, man, the other night, man. I was watching that live, they were on you, bro. The tooth is in the house, brother. What you gotta say, brother?
You know what? You know, I can't really say more than what our brothers are saying. You know, I agree with it all. and I'm glad to be here. And you know, we just got to keep pushing forward and striving. And you know, we've already. It's like you're getting it's like you're getting some land, and then you're gonna build. We got the land now. We just have to keep building. You know. So you know, I just want to say I'm with y'all, and we'll see you next time. I don't want to. And that's it. Short and sweet.
Well, thank you very much. All right, Big D, man. Everybody, check out the Homie Hangout as well as Big D's channel, man. I'm gonna let you end this segment, man. I enjoyed having you on our panel, brother, tonight.
I appreciate it. First of all, I want to send my condolences to the homie Huero, man. Sorry for your loss, homie. You know. Second of all, I appreciate it, homie, for you know, for just coming out and just being honest, you know. And trust me, man, I feel you, and pain never goes away, man. But another person I want to shout out is hey, homie Flaco. Thank you for the panel. I appreciate you, man, for having us on here. It's my first time. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed everybody, you know, on this panel. One thing I want to say, like I said,
you're gonna tap in more, right? You're gonna tap in more, right?
Yeah, man. If you guys have me on board, man, you know what I mean? If you guys welcome me with open arms, homie, you know what I mean? I would appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on board. With that being said, man, thank you for everybody. It was nice meeting. Mucho gusto. You guys, you know, love your family, kiss your loved ones, kiss your, you know, your wives, kiss your grandmother, your dogs, your cats. But let's just keep educating. Educating is not just in school, bro. You know what I mean? Pick up a trade, man. You know what I mean? I believe in entrepreneurship, you know, in many ways, man. Let's just try to set the exampleship. Let's support one another, love one another. I know love is a hard word to say, man, but if we're feeling it, let's do it, man. And that's what I'm saying. But gracias, man. Thanks for having me on board, man.
All right, everyone.
Hug for everybody,
this time. Oh, go ahead, C-Dog. You got one more thing to say?
I said a hug for everybody, for all the camaradas on the panel, man. A big hug, you know what I'm saying? And much respect, homie.
Much respect, everybody, man.
And one more thing for all the homies and all the homegirls that are behind walls, man. If you guys are seeing this or tapping in, man, we love you. You're not forgotten. We're here for you. Just try to reach out one way or another, and we'll see what we get to you, man.
And you know, when Huero was talking, he was talking about legacy, bro. Legacy. And that hits me deep because I feel that with my little brother. That's why I asked the homeboy's name. And I say my brother's name all the time, right? His name was Roy Speedy. Because I'm living a legacy for folks that haven't got a chance. And they fucking deserved it. And they should have. And a lot of people that ain't here should be. And more so than me, right? And I think a lot of us can agree with that in our own lives. But we have a chance to leave a legacy. We can't bring people back. But we can make sure that motherfuckers know their names and know what they stood for in a way that brings healing, bro, and not trauma. You know what I mean? That's how you honor people. You don't honor them by whacking their fucking rivals. You honor them by making it where people ain't getting whacked. You know what I'm saying? And we all have a legacy, whether it's to our kids or our neighbors or our younger loved ones, or whatever. We're not done. And life is too short, right? We don't know when our day is going to come. But we're here right now, and we have a chance to continue rewriting our legacy. And so props to Huero, man, for inspiring this conversation. It hit me, bro. It hit me. And yeah, it's you guys are dope, man. I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate it.
Not only my bad, not only the pozole or the menudo, but the carne asada too, homies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. That's right. That's right. Okay, I appreciate everybody was on this panel, man. I think everybody got something out of it, man. Well, once again, thank you for bringing up this topic, man. Sorry about this loss, man, but you know what, man? The example that you're setting forth, man, I'm sure that your homies up there proud of you right now, brother.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
All right, guys. I'm out.
Thank you, Carlos.
All right. God bless you, everybody, man. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto.
Good night. Good night, brothers. Good night.